So I wanted to talk a little bit about the last video I did about rep ranges and optimal rep ranges and optimal reps per set. And so in the last video, I broke down a little bit on, working with variations, and most of our work when we're building on strength between 70 and 85%. And so the premise was, if I'm working with 85% of my 1 rep max, that's my theoretical 6 rep max. When I'm working with athletes doing that, I'm not pushing them to 6 reps if they're trying to build strength. I'm probably at 85% working with 1, 2, or maybe 3 reps in that range for multiple sets. And that allows me to keep the muscle strong, keep the nervous system fresh, and not build up a ton of fatigue. If I have an athlete do a set of 6 with 85%, that's maximal effort at that rate, where I can have them do 2 or 3 or 4 sets of 2, and I can get the training volume in without trashing their system. And so that's the different mindset between strength training and just exercising or hypertrophy training. Now, there's a lot of different ways to view this, and there's not one right way. Depends on the athlete, how many times a week they're going to be training that muscle group, if they're going to be benching 3 times a week or benching once a week. So we have to look at volume over time, and there's no way I can cover that in a few-minute video that I'm going to put out right now. And there's a lot of different ways to start educating yourself on this. And so my goal is to help you understand a few different ways to look at this and see what works for you as an athlete. But most of the popular training programs out there kind of follow a similar structure in volume. Not all, but most. And this one right here, this is called Prilepin's chart. Prilepin's chart is what a lot of popular programs are based off of in general. So there'd probably be comments on this video saying, oh, that sucks, but most people will agree that it's pretty good at least getting some base strength and having you focus. So right here it's saying if I'm between 70 and 80% of my 1 rep max, I can break down my optimal rep range is about 18. If I'm working lower towards 70%, 24 might be an optimal range. If I'm working higher towards the 80% range, maybe 18 reps is my optimal rep range for building strength over time. And so that's a really great way to do it. Like right here, it's saying between 80 and 90%. If I'm doing an optimal rep range is about 15 reps if I'm working on the lower end, and maybe even less as I'm going to the higher end. So if I'm breaking all this down, if I'm working at 70 to 80%, 18 reps, I can get 6 sets of 3, I can get 3 sets of 6, and I can really manipulate those variables to try and get the optimal results out of my athlete. And everyone's going to be different depending on what part of your programming you're on. If I'm early on in a cycle of programming, I'm probably going to err towards, less sets and more reps per set to actually build a little bit of fitness and fatigue in the muscle to build some base strength up. And as the intensity increases, I'm going to choose to now do more sets, and each set having less reps. So I'm pulling back the fatigue in the muscle and prepping the muscle to lift heavier weights. And so as you see down here, when I'm in the 90% plus range of my 1 rep max, I might be doing 4 singles or 2 singles to now prep the muscle. So I could do that weight 4 times, but I might just do multiple sets of 1 or a set of 2 and be done with that weight, because now that's going to prep my muscle to feel the stimulus of getting stronger without trashing it with tons of fatigue as I'm getting ready to peak. So I'll let you do some of your own reading on Prilepin's chart and kind of see how it works for you and see if it makes sense. But I just wanted to kind of introduce some different principles to everyone on how many sets you should be doing and how many reps, because it's really going to vary based on what you're looking for in your programming. But that's just one way to look at it. Hope you found it useful and interesting if that's something that you're wanting to play with your own programming. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And we do a lot of programming for people as well, but it's one of those things like where I want people to understand some of the fundamentals behind why we program the way we do. So that's all. Feel free to reach out.